Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm just getting ready to do some morning prayers here. If you know someone that needs encouragement in this time, please share this with them. And yeah, getting ready to pray. So yesterday, I didn't really have time to share with all of you, but as I was praying, I felt this real deep connection to a person in science. And this person was like maybe a biologist or some kind of scientist. And when I was praying, I went into them, like I went into their space, and I felt this need to encourage them spiritually, energetically, to share what they had on their heart about what's going on with COVID. So that's what I did. I energetically gave them motivation, and I put a circle of protection around them. And in that way, you know, I felt like my energy and my prayer was ministering to them in their heart space. So, you know, we don't know exactly what is what the energy that we're praying, how it's going to transform the world around us. And that's why we come into the infinite possibility, right? The place of faith. Good morning, Audrey. Hey, good morning. So good to see you, sister. So I'm going to go ahead and start here, and I'm going to introduce myself to all of you. And then at some point, I will utilize my prayer in the heavenly language. This means that I'm going to pray in what some call a light language, some call it speaking in tongues. I just know that it's a spiritual language that's been coming through me since I was a teenager, and I didn't know anything about any of these words. You know, I used to go to drum circles, and all of a sudden I would be speaking in a language that was foreign to me, singing in a language that was foreign to me. But when I go into this space, I always know that there's a deep revelation for someone. And so if you feel, right, if you feel into that language and the language begins to teach you something, you know, it's speaking to you on a cellular, on a soul level, it's speaking to you on a powerful level. And this is a direct message for you. So, you know, the Greeks, they called it the Rama word. This is the revelatory word of God. This is something that's speaking directly to your heart, and it's speaking to you in a way that's not confined by the parameters of contemporary language. Ah, beautiful. Eduardo calls it the sun language. Beautiful. Yeah, many different cultures around the world have always had some kind of way of identifying this. And for me, what it does is it really shows us that, you know, we're not captive by our contemporary culture, right? Woo, that feels good. We're not captivated by our contemporary culture. We're not captivated by this time in our continuum, right? We are really sovereign individuals, sovereign, spiritual, holy individuals. And as we come into that place of holiness, we release the burdens of this world. So I'm about ready to go there right now. You know, I just lit some sage here. So I'm going to bless myself with this. You know, you can bless yourself. You know, we're doing this virtually now. So oh, I love it, man. I love it. So Creator always has innovation for us, you know. So this is good medicines here. So, all right. So let's ground in, huh? If you can hear my voice here, you know, if you can share this, if there's somebody that's going through a difficult time, you know, we're here to encourage one another, to lift each other up, to be there as a support. So, oh, Father, Mother, Creator, Source, we thank you for this opportunity to be in this prayer place that was founded before the creation of time. We thank you for the above place, the below place, the inside place, the east, the south, the west, the north, and all the holy ones that are there. We thank you that you have sent forth an assignment of ministering and warring angels to set up an encampment around us, that we may have a direct connection to the source, to the great infinite I am. And we step into this circle of life knowing that you have already created a way, a vehicle for us, a vehicle of sacred geometry, a vehicle of transformation, a place in which the energy of the vibration of our combined intention transforms the world around us. And right now we speak to you in a way of encouragement. We speak to you in a way of gratitude. We give thanks for COVID. We give thanks for all that it has done to bring us to a place of unification, to bring us to a place of evaluation. We thank you for what this virus has done to us, what it has done to us as human beings. We give thanks and gratitude in all things. And even right now, as we reach into this place of being awkwardly thankful for that which we cannot control, for that which we have received into our lives, we give thanks even in the times of the density of our own human suffering and the letting go of our plans for business and the letting go of our plans for our future. We give thanks to you for allowing for us to be in this place so that we can come to this prayer place, this altar, and know that you have worked in the seen and unseen parts, that you have made a way for our faith to be ignited, and in all things that you have a plan to prosper us exceedingly and abundantly above. We thank you for the air, the water, the fire, the earth, gravity, time, spirit. We thank you that you have allowed for us to be in a place in which we can learn from our moms, our dads, our grandmas, our grandpas, our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, our sons, our daughters, all of our relations like that. And in this great place of learning, that we have allowed for ourselves to be illuminated to the possibility of allowing for this to be a place, a foundation for a great wave of transformation upon the earth. And we give ourselves over to you right now in service, believing that you have equipped us in the seen and unseen parts to be a voice of ministry to the hurting, to the lost, to those that are in a place of confinement and captivity. And I pray right now that you would allow for us to burn like the blue flame fire that burns in the vacuum of space, that burns underwater, that cuts through the chains of captivity, that we would be in a ministry of reconciliation and redemption. And as we come into this place of this divine ministry, Creator God, that you would allow for us to understand that we can produce to restore people, families, community, and the planet. And I thank you for everything that you are doing in the heavenly realms, everything that you are doing in the earthly realms, everything that you are doing in our lives to bring us closer to the magnification of the very mission that you have designed us to be. It was before the foundations of the creation of the earth that you allowed for us to manifest into this place. And I thank you, Creator God, that at this time of great suffering upon the earth, this time of great despair, this time of great uncertainty, that you have raised up an army of people to speak the truth of love and gratitude, that we would be grateful in all things, that we would be grateful in even the suffering that you have allowed us to partake in, Creator God, that inside of this place of suffering, that there is a density of human emotion that brings forth the catalyst of joy and happiness and love and embrace of our fellow beings, our fellow earthlings. And we thank you for the earth itself. We thank you for the trees, for the waterfalls, for the streams, for the lakes, for the swamplands, for the oceans, for the beaches. We thank you for the warmth of the sun against our skin, for the wind in our hair. We thank you for the sound of the birds singing. We thank you for the trees in the wind flowing through the leaves, Creator God. We thank you for the grasslands, for the great buffalo, for the elk, for the deer, for the mountain lion, for the bear, for the salmon, for all the animal people, the dogs, the cats, Creator God, all the different ones that are roaming the earth right now, all of our relations, even the eagle in the sky, the great feathered ones that carry our prayers to the Most High. We thank you that you have allowed for us to be in this place of prayer. And inside of this place of prayer, that there is infinite intelligence. I pray right now that you would move upon the systems of this earth, that you would move upon the educational system, and that you would raise up a great army of intellectual and spiritual beings in the offices of the professors, in the offices of the doctors, in the offices of the learned people of this world, Creator God. Those that have those college educations, Creator, I pray that you would raise up even a great group of people, a great ministry of people, that they would come upon the earth and that they would minister in a loud, profound way the truth of what it means to be an earthling, what it means to come back to this place of divine relationship with the earth. And I pray that you would move upon every single teacher right now, and that you would give them the vehicle and the tools to minister to one another, Creator. whether it be through technology, whether it be through the utilization of prayer, meditation, Creator God, even the use of musical instruments, whatever those tools are that you would allow for us to use, I pray that you would equip us right now, even on a genetic level, on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, that you would allow for us to move into those places of great authority upon the earth, that we may release our prayers upon the earth, knowing that they are working, knowing that they are manifesting, knowing that you have allowed for us to pray into the infinite vibration, and inside of this infinite intelligence there is a great wealth of knowledge. And I release ourselves from the insecurity of not understanding. I release ourselves from the insecurity of not knowing, and instead I pray that you would impart a knowingness upon the people, that the people that are in that great peril of insecurity, Creator God, that they would be released from that, and you would even burn as a blue flame fire, cutting through the chains of captivity to insecurity. But instead that we would all know that it is this time that we have been born into, that it is this time of great awakening upon the earth, that we have come from the very four directions, from the east, the south, the west, the north, from every single physical direction, and all of the three spiritual directions, the above, the below, the inside, to this time right now. And inside of this time frame, this window of action, Creator God, that you have allowed for us to be loosed upon the earth and to have the power of the ministry of love and reconciliation and gratitude as our shield of faith to protect us from the arrows that fly by night. We thank you that you have shielded us with gratitude, and that inside of this great prayer place, this bubble of love and gratitude, that you have made a way for us to prosper in this land, that you have called us to prosper exceedingly and abundantly above anything that we can ever hope or imagine. And as we reach the very edge of love, Creator God, that you have expanded love into another dimensional frequency, that you have expanded love into another way of life, that we would know the bountiful resonant frequency of the vibration of love, that it would flow into us like water into the cup that is filled with coffee, and that it would remove the coffee, Creator God, and fill us full of clean, life-giving water. Oh, I thank you, sacred water. I thank you, air, water. I thank you, fire, earth. I thank you, my relatives here, the holy ones, the deities of the earth. I thank you for the God, the goddess. I thank you for the holiness in this place. I thank you for Jesus Christ. I thank you for the Christ consciousness with the Christ baby. I thank you for the Holy Spirit working in us right now. I thank you for this transmission upon the earth. I thank you for all those who have been called in accordance with the will of Allah, all those that have been called in accordance of the will of Yahweh. I thank you for all those that have been called in accordance with the will of Jesus Christ. I thank you for all those that have been called into accordance with the Hindu god Shiva, with the Buddhist meditation, Creator God, the Taoist, all the great religions of the earth. I pray that you would move now and raise up leaders in those institutions of spirituality, that they would release themselves from the barriers and the borders of ideology, and instead that they would grasp to the power and the intention of love. Right now, I pray that you would move as a great gardener in the fields of spirituality, and that you would even remove those egocentric ideas and ideals from the people, that you would remove them, and that you would allow for humility to be upon the people, those who have a platform, those that are in a place of authority, those that have listeners, those that have ears that are open to listening to the powerful transformation of love and gratitude. I pray that peace would prevail upon the earth. I pray that even right now that there would be soldiers that would put down their guns and pick up drums, that they would begin to dance again, that they would begin to be free again. I'm speaking to the armies and the navies and the air forces, Creator God, right now, that you would send forth an even powerful wave upon the Marines, Creator God, and all of the special forces. I pray that you would protect them, that you would care for them, that you would allow for a deep resonant frequency of love to be in the administration of all the generals, all the admirals, all of the different authority figures that are in the lives of the soldiers, Creator God. I pray that they would be mindful of this time, and that there would be a great reckoning upon them, that they would even be in a place of understanding that this is why they have been born into this earth, that inside of this container of this time, in the linear conceptualization of reality, that they have been called as a physical human being from the spiritual, and that you would awaken that process upon them, that even the limitations of their own minds would be dissolved in the frequency of this prayer. I thank you, Creator God, that prayer works. I thank you that you have allowed for us to enter into this prayer place, knowing that we are a cord of many strands that is not easily broken, and we bind ourselves to the authority that you have given here on this earth as people of faith, people of intellectual, creative minds. I thank you that you have even brought creativity, imagination, innovation to the earth, that you have moved in the place of science, that you have moved in the place of biology, that you have moved in the place of medicine, and that you have raised up individuals to utilize their intellect to bring forth a vaccine, to bring forth a medicine, an alchemy of medicines, Creator God, whether it be through the nutritional realm, Creator God, whether it be through the biological realm, whether it be the plant medicines, whatever it is, Creator God, that you would utilize people to bring forth an understanding into how to bring about a transformation of peace upon the earth, that we would lean on peace right now, that we would lean on the power and the magnification of what it means to be holy people, what it means to be people who are called in accordance with the will of the Most High God, that you right now would utilize this time, Creator, in the minds and hearts of every single earthling, that you would allow for us to unify ourselves, and that we would be in a place of not denying the mourning, not denying the fear, not denying the sorrow, but instead that we would sit with that and we would feel into it, and then we would allow ourselves to transform the density of energy into an uprising of the unification of human beings, that inside of this place of great fear and separation, Creator God, that you would call us to be with one another in a new way, in a way that transforms life, in a way that brings us to vulnerability, intimacy, and the power of love. I thank you for the power of love upon the earth. I thank you that you have even raised up politicians right now and leaders, Creator God, to come back to circle. I thank you that you have moved in the circle of life and that you have called us good. I thank you that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, and right now that you are releasing the funds upon the earth to make sure that every need is met, that the rent is met, Creator God, that the mortgage payment is met, that the car payment is met, that every single institution of finance, Creator God, would work now in a way of harmony to bring about a prosperity upon the earth, and that every single human being that is in a place of lack would now be renewed to the place of abundance, because this is the time that we have been called to be in, a time of great renewal, a time of great redemption, a time of great transformation upon the earth. And I thank you for the joy that is in our hearts. I thank you for the magnification of the joy that is in our hearts. I thank you for joy in the east, in the south, in the west, in the north, in the above, in the below, in the inside. I thank you for happiness. I thank you for the day in which we come out and play again. I thank you for the day in which we come out and dance again. I thank you, Creator God, that we are even there right now in this way, that we are dancing in the streets, that we are rejoicing in the power of the Most High Creator God to loosen us from the captivity of our own insecurity, but instead to allow us to flow like the waters, to be the powerful instruments of transformation that we all know that we need right now in the earth place, in every single institution upon the earth. All those that are in the high places, I call upon them right now, that their hearts would be transformed, that their minds would be transformed, that they would be in a place of great renewal to the beauty of what it means to be an earthling, to the beauty of what it means to be holy again and identified as holy spiritual beings. I thank you that you have loosened this prayer upon the earth, that you have removed us from the place of insecurity, but instead that you have firmly founded us into the place of faith, realizing that in all things that you are working for the good of those who are called in accordance with your will, that we are called to this place of prayer, to this place of renewal, that the fires of our ancestors and the prayers and the dances and the songs have been for this time right now, a time of great renewal, a time of great sacrifice, a time of great beauty, a time of great repentance, Creator God, that we would move upon the institutions of business, Creator, and all of the places in which greed has prevailed, and instead the density of greed would be loosened right now to the joy of giving, and that you would bring giving into the hearts and the minds of the great institutions, that all of the CEOs, all of the people who have the gold mine access would release that wealth upon the earth right now, and that there would be a great movement of joy, There would be a great movement of love. And even right now, as I speak to those that are barricading themselves, those that are isolating themselves, I pray that they would be in a place of realizing that they cannot isolate themselves from you, God. That they cannot isolate themselves from the power of the Holy Spirit. That even in this place, that the Spirit of the Most High Creator God has moved upon their hearts. That they have been brought to a place of realizing their actions. And I'm speaking to them right now, specifically the men in the place of leadership, the men who have been isolated in their own insecurity, that have been isolated in their own unforgiveness, the men in the male, the divine masculine. I pray that it would rise up, all those that have taken on so much money, so much wealth right now, and have thought that this was the security of their life. I pray that they would release that wealth upon the earth, and that there would be a great movement, a great transformation, Creator God. I pray that you would just bring forth the finances to bring us into a new way of living and understanding that we are the ones that shelter the weak, that in giving there is joy, and that in the release of greed, Creator God, that you have allowed for us to move upon the earth in a wave of beauty, a wave of satisfaction for all the spiritual entities that are around us, all the holy ones that are called in accordance with love. I thank you, Creator God, that the power of Jesus Christ is in us, the great sacrifice of life itself, the resonating frequency of the Christ consciousness that gives unto those that are not even ready to receive the beautiful power of the victim, Creator. I pray that you would remove the ideas of the insecurity of the victim, and that you would allow for us to be victorious in the power of giving. And that as those institutions, as those businesses, as those entities of government begin to release their finances upon the earth, that we would use it in a way to bring us back to a place of restoration, that we would restore people, families, community, and the planet, and that there would be a great ministry of redemption and reconciliation upon the earth right now, that we would come into a place of aligning ourselves to utilize technology to bring about a change and a transformation in the way that we live, that we would live in harmony, that you would allow for us to utilize the plant medicines, that you would allow for us to utilize the medicine of food, Creator, that you would allow for us to utilize the energy of the sun and clean energy, that we would be in a place in which we are completely aligned and free from the actual insecurities of environmental devastation, that we would be renewed to that place of understanding that we are earthlings, and that this time right here is the time in which we have been called back to the earth. Ane so ma di toka tina nama no to ana tishinitama bedne toka sinitoma wakoni sinitama okanida dene toka shinitama wakoni tama ane to asinitaka o anesia Beni tokani takamaro ona to ona tishkini nama ona rakoma beni to ona tishiki nitama ni to na ni takasi nita o nitama shiki nitomare onkani to na. Oh, my name is Andrew Ecker, my mother Kathy Lindsay, my father Dale Ecker, my mother's mother Elva Gallegos, my father's mother Evelyn Beatty, my mother's father Leroy Lindsay, and my father's father Wayne Ecker. Dogate, Andrew Ecker, Yinishe, Adone E Nishinigi E, Ide Nishe, Irish Bashachin, Ide Dashache, German Dashanali, Akote Go E, Tashli E, Portland, Oregon, Inasha, Shama E, Kathy Lindsay Woye, Shaza E, Dale Ecker Wole. I come now to the very throne room of the place in which the resonant frequency of the Most High Nishoke Amari Dona Katsinite Mawa Donita Kisinito Mare Wakoni Tisikenima Dashinito Mare To Kanitsamaro Esenito Akona Dama Wa Onkan Enituma Rakini Tisinito Marewa Banito Karewa Wa Onitishikina Rakini Asinito Marakoni Ti Ankan Asikona Mawa Bonito Skiniwa Nikana Sono Ona Skini pakone shikuma panituko ni ramara kone tira cheka osinita mare doka shinitoma anata nechisinito tanituka ne ramo one doni de kishini namane no nachikine osinita mare kone yama anande tukona anita chichichu anakuare mani nara dogere rama ona asinito na shinino mani nakona. The many and the unseen become the one in the seen. As we move to a place of great destiny, arise now from the underneath place, from the mountaintops. As we hold hands in the circle of life, know that we are not alone, but instead that we are unified with the great infinite power of the One, the very source energy that gives the eternity to the souls called to this place. And inside of the unification of that, we are loosened from the insecurity of this physical body, but instead we are just a portion of the continuum of what it means to be called holy in this time, what it means to be those that are in the will of the Most High. As we circle, as we fortify, we realize that it is through the fortification of love that we dismiss the insecurities of this world, and we are renewed to the very power of that which is inside of us, the power to reclaim our identity, to reestablish who we are, to be in the place of divine infinite intelligence, to realize that within source energy that every need is met, that the naked are clothed, that the hungry are fed, and that we, the people who are called in accordance with faith, are unified. The confusion of the illusion brings us to a place of isolation, yet within the spiritual we realize that there are not one, not two, but infinite amounts of souls that are surrounding us in a comforting blanket of love. We are the threads in that blanket of ancestral history brought to this time to comfort and shelter each other. And as we comfort and shelter each other, we know now that it is the beautiful power of spirit that has created this opportunity. And in that space of opportunity, we give thanks. We give thanks in all things, knowing that this is the time in which we encourage one another. This is the time in which we show ourselves as a people who are called to love, to be gentle and holy, to shelter the weak, to be a voice for the weak, to show the beauty of our humanness, to show the beauty of our earthlingness, to show the beauty of what it means to be. All things are working for the good of those who have been called to this time. It is your calling to be in this time. It is your calling to be here, to joke, to laugh, to play your drum, to sing your song. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that we came here to love. Go tell it on the mountain. Sing it with me. Over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that we came here to dance. Sing it with me. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that we came here to pray. Love, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that we came here to love. Peace. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that we came here to peace. Woo! Oh, my name is Andrew Ecker, my mother Kathy Lindsay, my father Dale Ecker, my mother's mother Elva Gallegos, my father's mother Evelyn Beatty, my mother's father Leroy Lindsay, my father's father Wayne Ecker. Dogate, Andrew Ecker, Yinishe, Donna E, Nishinigi E, Ide, Nishe, Irish Basha Chin, Ide Dasha Che, German Dasha Nali, Akote Go E, Tashli E, Portland, Oregon, Nina Shah, Shama E, Kathy Lindsay Woye, Shaza E, Dale Ecker Wole. Give thanks for this prayer. You know, beauty above, beauty below, beauty beside, beauty in front, beauty behind, beauty. Put your hands on your heart, beauty within. I am, we are made beautiful again. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to be doing this every day. I haven't set a time yet, but if you have a suggestion of a time, please put it in the comments. Also, please share this. If you know someone that's suffering, that needs some encouragement, please share this with them. You know, this transmission that I felt today, it was definitely about unification. It was about the realization that the isolation is just the confusion of the illusion, and that, of course, you're not alone. There's angels, there's the holy ones that have been called to fortify the power of love, to protect you in your time of need. You know, all of your ancestors, the very genetic makeup of your life is all evident in you. In tapping into that truth inside of you, tapping into that truth in your biological system, the very power that you are, is important for us to realize in this time. That we are together in this, right? And that together in this very time right now that we are in is a time of great renewance. You know, the earth is telling us these things. We all have been knowing it. And I release you right now from the insecurities. And instead, I allow for you to step into that place of renewing your commitment, right, to the knowingness that we've confessed, that we have to change, that it is a time of great transformation. We've all known this. It's that time for us to realize it and rest in the knowing. Rest in the knowing, right? Rest in the knowing that you are that vessel of love and gratitude upon the earth. And truly, you're equipped for this. You know, you've been molded since the very moment you came out of your mother's womb for a time such as this. To not isolate and not live in fear and not begin to buy weapons and all of this stuff, right? But instead, to realize that it is giving that motivates your heart. It is love that motivates your heart. The trauma, the persecution, the hatred, all of those things are the confusion of the fears of isolation. I pray with you as a cord of many strands that is not easily broken, binding ourselves to that place of love. Realizing that even the institution itself, right? Even the wealth that we have, the billions and trillions of dollars, has been stored up for this time. Where are we going to put that? Are we going to put that into the fortification of more armament? That is really the illusion. You cannot protect yourself from these things, right? Or are we going to put it back into creating equality? You know, ending the wet markets that are the place where these animals are being utilized. You know, ending those wet markets, and if there are hungry people in the earth, making sure that they're fed with good, clean food. You know, these are the things that we need to think about right now. You know, as the politicians are on the platform, as they're saying all the different things, as the talking heads are coming before us, what are we going to motivate ourselves? What kind of uprising is going to be realized right now? What kind of transformation is going to be realized? Because what I hold on to is the magnification of the idea that the bank buildings in downtown Phoenix already have hydroponic gardens on them. That every single car is electric already. You know, that's what I'm believing right now. I hope you'll believe it with me. I hope you believe that this is what we've been talking about. And in talking about it, we've created a density of energy. And that density of energy is like a bowling ball in the metaphorical blanket that we are all holding. And if you put a bowling ball in the middle of the blanket and you drop a marble, where does it go? It goes to the bowling ball, right? So imagine this, that within the energetic blanket of reality, there is a bowling ball of every single thought. Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this to the planet. My God, I can't believe we're doing this to each other. My God, we need to change. And that bowling ball has just been fortified. Density, density, density. And it's creating a gravity. Now, here's the thing. There are those of us that are going to surf that wave of gravity. And that's what I'm calling you to do. To surf the wave of gravity. To realize that inside of the density of that vehicle, there is potential. Energy exists in two forms, relative. It exists in density and flow. And inside of the density, that there is a opportunity, right, for transformation. And yes, there is the realization that guess who is not affected by this? You know who's not affected by this as much? The children. They're coming in with those imprints. They're coming in with those genetic codes. They're coming in with the realization of the infinite possibility of this world. It is the child within us that realizes the potential of faith. Come to this time now as an inquisitive child, not as a paralyzed adult, looking into all of the different things in your life, your bank account, your bills, all of those. That's adulting, right? Come into this time as the inquisitive child, realizing what is going on energetically in my body right now. What is going on energetically in the collective consciousness? Ask yourself these questions. The inquisitive child comes into this world through the womb of the mother. Out of the darkness, she comes, this little baby, and she comes to this place with wide open eyes, looking upon the earth, knowing that she will be ministered to. She looks upon the earth and she sees the opportunity. She sees the place in which love can prevail. This is the child within you, the inner child within you that I pray right now is the activation of the opening of your eyes to that place of curiosity. Allow for that little baby inside of you to be nurtured today. Realize that you are the divine feminine, you are the divine masculine, you are the Trinity. And if you realize a trinity, right, a triangle, equal on both sides, is one of the strongest forms of sacred geometry. Why is it the strongest form of sacred geometry? Why is it a strong shape? A triangle is a strong shape because it's equal, right? Equal triangle. That means that the feminine, the masculine, and the child are equal. As the child begins to look upon the earth and begins to see the things that are going on and begins to see all of these issues that are arising, scarcity mentality, greed, all of these things, let the masculine nurture that child. Let the feminine nurture that child and bring about the displacement of the energy that no longer serves you. Allow for the child to play in this infinite time of great possibility, to wonder again, to vision again. We have fortified the density of that space, right? That has brought transformation. Now let's fortify the density of the place of love and gratitude. Because as we begin to fortify that, as we begin to release the trauma and the insecurities and the fears and all of these things, we now will begin to be able to utilize the energy of love and gratitude to be a great transformational force upon the earth, a wave of love and gratitude. This is the time in which we have been raised up for. You know this. You know that, and you have the security of sheltering yourself like a great blanket around you. You know, it's warm in here to understand that through faith it is this time. It's warm and it's beautiful, right? And it's also like, wow, what do I do now? What do I do to get to work at building a world that is in the space of production for the means of restoration? Not to talk about a value system that's based around jobs. Come on. This is the old thinking. But a value system that's based around the ability to transform the world through the security of knowing that we are produced to restore people, families, community in the planet, because inside of each and every one of us, there is perfection. Restoration is the realization that as we reconcile ourselves back to the perfection, that we are renewed in that beauty. You came into this time with an agreement. You manifested your parents, your grandparents, your sacred seven, you, your mom, your dad, your mom's mom, your father's mother, your mother's father, and your father's father, as a genetic agreement, as a spiritual agreement. And now, in the realization of that agreement, look for the fuel of love and gratitude to shelter you, to equip you for this time. It's a very beautiful time to be in. We are all equipped right now to bring about the great transformation that we have densified, fortified, that we have agreed to. And I'm excited. I'm going to be praying every morning. If you enjoy this ministry, please let us know by sharing. And also, I have made we have our PayPal account there. If you'd like to donate, we have a lot of time to minister to people online here. We're going to be facilitating drum circles online, utilizing our Zoom platform. As we step into this time of incubation, right? We're incubating. We need to reach out to one another. We need to be in faith with one another, and it is technology that gives us that vehicle. So I'm excited for what the next few months hold. I'm excited for the space in which we are going to create together in this community. You know, me and Monica have been serving the elders in the retirement communities, the hurting, sick in behavioral institutions and memory cares, and it has been such a joy sharing these words with people every single day, 1 to 5 drum circles a day. And now we are released to share with you this ministry of reconciliation, this ministry of redemption. And yes, cocooning and reemerging. I love it. Yeah, you know, I want to leave you with this story, right? Of this little girl, and she's wandering through the wilderness, and she comes across this cocoon, and the cocoon is hanging, you know, on a limb, and she's looking in there, and she can see that there's this little, you know, this butterfly, and this butterfly is trying desperately to get out of the cocoon, breaking its way out, you know, pushing its way out. It's reaching in there and just, you know, coming to light. And so the little girl sees the struggle that's going on, and she's like, oh, I can help. And she reaches up and she begins to pull open the cocoon, and she begins to break the pieces off of the cocoon. And this beautiful butterfly emerges, and the butterfly is there, and it's flapping its wings, you know, and it's like trying to fly, and it kind of jumps off the limb and falls to the ground. Well, the little girl is like bewildered. She's like, what's going on? So she picks up the butterfly and she holds the butterfly in her hands, and she lets the butterfly go. And again, it falls to the ground. And the little girl is thinking, like, what is going on? You know, why isn't this butterfly flying? And then the butterfly perishes. And the little girl's heartbroken. The reality is this, is that the butterfly was breaking out of its cocoon the whole time, strengthening its arms, strengthening its wings, getting blood to its muscles. And this is what's happening in your life today. You're not the one that's looking, right, for the quick, easy fix. You know, you're not the one that's out there trying to find the quick easiness. You know, you're the one that's sitting with your emotions, that's being in the struggle, and that every time that those emotions come up, you're able to minister to yourself through those emotions. You're able to reach out to a friend. You're able to be there with the energy of discomfort. Because inside of the energy of discomfort, you are the utilization, you are the vehicle of the collective consciousness. You're saving people's lives. Instead of going out and getting shit-faced drunk, right? You're sitting with those energies. You're transforming those energies. It is inside of you that we are all able to live a better life. So realize that you are emerging from the cocoon, the victorious butterfly. And it is not the need to go out and get drunk or get high or try to pacify those emotions, but to realize that inside of those emotions is the density of energy that brings about the catalyst for transformation. This is why you've been called. You are a person that is holy. You are a child, a grandchild. And you are someone that I love. And if no one's told you today that they love you, I want you to know that I love you. And I'm very grateful for you. I'm going to get to work today. I'm going to do some art. So I want to go ahead and end this transmission for now, but begin another one. Ha ha! Woo! So anyway, we love you guys, and look for our drum circles. I think we're going to start doing drum circles. I had to talk to Monica what time we're going to be doing them, but get your drums and let's get together and drum tonight. Maybe we can do something. That would be really cool. Yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Monica. Love you. So many people here. Yeah, great. It was a great energy, great grounding in. And I love you guys. Join me tomorrow morning. I'll be here ministering again. If you need a little bit of encouragement, also if you'd like to share this word with your community, please share it. I love you guys. You guys are great, and hope to see you here tomorrow. Blessings.